Yash, I got a comment. I hadn't forgot about this one. I left that, made that video about twin flames, right? And then somebody was like, it's like, man, I'm a solo warrior. I don't have time for that. I'm doing my time here on the planet, and that's what I'm doing. And and that somehow struck me. I needed to make a video to make balance, because you have some people, they're destined to be in a relationship. Most people, actually. But then you have some, it's just like not in their destiny. They're not feeling it. For example, I've never had such feeling tendency to have a family or children, get married, anything. Never had that, never considered it. They kept saying, wait till you get older. I said, okay. So I'm 48 now, and I'm so far away from that I can't even tell you. It's not my destiny. But it's not a mental choice. This is the thing. You see, if it's our destiny to be, if it's our destiny to do anything, we're going to do it. And if it's not our destiny to do something, we're not going to do it. This is bottom line stuff. But getting in the spiritual channel now, do we have free will? But I'm trying to keep it practical here. For the play of the human life and expression, there seems to be all these choices we're making, and we're calculating, and we're checking, oh, what's my desires? I want to do this. Okay, I'm going to choose to do that. Okay, that's cool. That's fun. That's why we're here. We got this virtual reality suit on, and it really looks like we're doing something. All right. So what I was saying is, if it's our destiny to get into a relationship, we're going to get in one. And if it's not, we're not. Now, it's one thing to make that choice with the mind, though. See, you can say our destiny or karma, this is stronger. This is stronger than what our current thoughts are or feelings. Our real destiny is going to override that at some point. Life's going to create a situation or circumstance that's going to reveal to us what our deepest longings are. So we don't really have the mental power to choose, I'm going to be in a relationship or not, especially that. I mean, that's strong stuff, man. So what I'm trying to say is, if you currently feel like you don't want to have a relationship, good, like honor that, you know. Just don't hang so tight to it and say, oh, but I'm never going to have one. See, we don't know. You may not get married, you may not have children, but like in my case, I wanted to experience that, how it felt to really like connect though with the opposite sex in an exclusive way. Because if you're not a player, see, players, they just go out and play, right? But when you have the benefit of having like an exclusive monogamous relationship is that you really get to focus on each other. You go deeper. There's a added depth and intensity. And so then you experience levels of intimacy more deeper than if you're just Peter Panning it, you know? So I wanted to taste what that felt like. And I did. And I did it a few times. And they were really good. They were so good I don't have to do it again. So I didn't want to get married. I didn't want to have kids, but I still wanted to experience how that felt. So it might be that that's the case. Now it's super rare if somebody's just authentically celibate like their whole life and never felt to yeah, these girls are scoping me. They're like, who am I talking to? You know, might start edging. It's super rare that somebody's authentically celibate their whole life. It exists, but it's not the norm. So if percentages hold, you're probably going to want to get into a relationship. You're going to be compelled to get into one at some point. That's cool. But let's talk about the benefits of being a solo warrior. I wanted to give that foundation, you know, before I talk on this, because this is what it's about. I've talked before how nice and, you know, the experience is of being with the opposite sex or the same sex, if you swing like that. But what's it like to be solo? And, you know, another reason I think I'm making this video is because last night I was chilling at the beach at night. I like going to the beach at night. There's nobody there. And I wrote a message to two people, and I was talking about how most people who get married or in a relationship, especially when you're older, it's like because of this deep-seated loneliness that's hiding inside almost every human being. And so then they want to get together because there's this fear of like, oh, I don't want to grow old and be alone and die alone. So it's like, and you're older now, so you're not playing the field anymore. Like that's somehow done. Some guys do. Go to Thailand, they play that field till they're drop dead. But you know, you get older and it's like you don't have those strong ambitions to go conquer the world and be an astronaut and a doctor and a lawyer all at the same time. So you're kind of chilling. And so then something's like, whoa, like I don't want to just be alone, because they don't have a spiritual practice. I'm going to get into that in a second. So they end up shacking up, and basically their motives for doing that, the underlying motives, because they don't want to be lonely. That's one. The other reason is because it serves as a good distraction. See, most people distract themselves their whole life. What happens if you don't distract yourself? Any impurity inside your being or in your mind or the way you look at life, that's going to start to come up. You're going to have to look at that. That's why I like that. The ultimate spiritual practice is just to practice presence all the time, because then anything that's you can say holding you back or not pure, it's going to come up, and then you can look at it and then let it dissolve back into the nothingness. You can say like that, or spirit, instead of it playing. See, these little things are on subconscious level. They're playing in our mind. We don't know it. They're like taking up rent. These hidden desires and dormant tendencies, all that stuff. So then if we keep staying distracted via dopamine hits or relationships or just whatever, the world has millions of things we can distract ourselves with. If you're not doing that, or food or drugs or alcohol, whatever, if you're not doing that, these things are going to start to come up. People have a unconscious tendency to avoid that. So that's the other thing that relationships are used for, especially as we start getting older, because it's like a law of nature. As we get older, we start self-reflecting. Something knows we're going to be off this planet soon. It's like, did we do everything we're supposed to do? Let's look. But the mind's like, no, don't look. Don't look at that. That's heavy stuff. You're going to feel uncomfortable. Go get into a relationship. Go get drunk. Go, whatever. So, that's the reason why people get in relationships. If you're a solo warrior, you're up. You're up for the game. You're like, yeah, God, life, bring it. I want to see everything. I want to see everything. What's holding me back? I want to be purified to the max. I don't want to waste this life. This is the highest opportunity to have in life, to realize who we are, to have true self-knowledge, self-realization. And so I want to see all these little things that are seemingly blocking that. Bring it. If that's your purpose for being solo, then you're good. If you're doing it because you're just afraid of intimacy, or you just trying to, you see, that can be another avoidance. Okay, I just shared how we can use relationships to avoid the purification of ourselves. Well, you can be solo as a means also to avoid the purification of yourself that you would feel if you were in a relationship. See, God uses both solo and relationships to purify us. So, to thine own self be true. You have to discern and see. Are you, if you're single now, be single and enjoy. If you're in a relationship, use it for the highest purpose. If you feel like the relationship's not serving you, then start to be open to letting that dissolve. So I sent this message to two people. One guy said, it's like, yeah, man, that's a high level road to choose, to just not be, we're using the word choice. It's already destiny, but we have to use words. That's a high level choice, just to not be in a relationship, you just be alone. Not lonely, but alone. Because he was basically saying the average person has very strong tendencies the human being, one who's really identified with being a human being, you're by default, you're going to be wanting another human being to just to have some company, to have some comfort. So he's like, yeah, that's rare to find someone who's really, I'm going to use my own words, wants to be married to God, wants to have a relationship with the divine higher. That's the highest purpose that they have. That's the real longing that they have. Not with another human being, but you might need to do that a few times with another human being to get to where you see, oh yeah, like this isn't the ultimate. That's what I'm saying. Like you can't skip the work. I've met too many people who try to intellectualize and say, yeah, that's a good idea, I'm just going to skip all that. But they haven't really transcended it. You transcend things through experience. I'm a empiricist. This is all my knowledge comes from experience. I read some books and I like some things, but the words I speak, they're coming out of realization. I don't like parroting things. So that's what will happen if somebody has some intellectual aptitude and they read some stuff, they'll just parrot that, but they lack the vibration and true realization and living wisdom to back that up. And if you're smart, you can catch that out. You're like, man, I don't believe you, bro. You need to go get in a relationship. So his response to the email was right on. It's like true, you know. The other thing is, like, if that's, just accept it. If that's, I mean, we got no choice anyway, but what I'm saying is, like, don't resist your life, the unfolding of your life. If you're supposed to be in a relationship, this is the highest good for you. The universe is prescribing things to you, tailor-made. Flow with it. If you're not, same thing. Flow with it. Because it's like, if it's really our destiny to stay single, not like we don't talk to anybody, but to not be having such a full spectrum physical partner that we live with all the time and spend our time with, if that's not our destiny, use that to find your true self inside. Marry that. That's going to give a satiation and satisfaction that there's no other human being can give you. And then you're going to feel complete. You're not going to really feel like you need a relationship. You're already going to be complete. This is the other thing. You're already going to be loved and in love at the same time. So then what's the point of having a relationship? Unless maybe the universe somehow wants to have to orchestrate a relationship with you and somebody else for the higher good for the universe, but there won't be any personal desire in you to have a relationship. That's the distinction that I'm making. Another thing he said, isn't it possible though for two people to come together in a relationship and then they wake up together? Yeah, I mean, anything's possible. The mind likes to try to find loopholes though, because really there's some desire to have a relationship. So then the mind's like, well, but could it maybe work like this? Yeah, it can work. It can. It's all good. We don't know what's going to happen. You know, there's no secret formula that everybody needs to follow to give success or self-realization. The script's already been written. Just let it flow. When I sent this email to the other guy, though, see, this has this is a little different. One's not better than the other. I'm just saying, like, you can kind of sense destiny when people speak and their vibration behind the words. At least it appears that way. It can always change. Go see Adjustment Bureau, that movie. It's a good one. It's about that. So I sent it to my friend in India, and he said, man, it's funny. I was just thinking about this the other day. And he's like, I've already realized any situation or relationship I have on an external level with anything, I end up feeling lonely anyway. He's like, yeah, there's only me and God. Like, this is it. This is the only thing that really quenches this instinctual feeling to feel whole and complete. There's nothing out here that does that. When that's realized on a deep level, you can't help but not make that your top priority. It's not a practice. You're not making a decision. It's just you've seen. You have direct seeing now, perception. You're like, yeah, it's just nothing out here is going to do it for me. But that's an organic evolutionary process that one has to experience and realize for themselves. I did not experience that when I was a teen or in my 20s. It was the opposite. It's about money, girls, and all that. So I understand. It's just I can't really make videos. Some people want me to make videos about how to use the semen retention as a way to make money and success, and I don't know. I don't have any fire or passion to do it like that because it's like it's temporary. So, and there's plenty of other videos that will give that to you anyway. So I don't need to do that. What I'm sharing, I think, is a bit rare. So let's just keep it like that on this dialed in on this frequency, and then you can see the other videos. Watch both. Why not? All right. Have a good day.